Hi Virgo, welcome to November. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. And before I start your reading, I want to call in some good energy. So this month starts right on the heels of the full moon in Taurus. And then Mercury, which is your ruling planet, will go direct on the 3rd, November 3rd. Then Jupiter conjuncts Pluto on November 12th. Mars goes direct on the 13th. And then we have a new moon in Scorpio on the 15th or the 14th, depending on where you live. So a lot of the energy is shifting this month, and hopefully I feel like this month will be a lot better than last month. Last month we had a lot of difficult transits. So let's see what the cards say, and then we'll get into the astrology later. So what does Virgo need to know about love and relationships for the month of November? What is coming up for Virgo for November 2020? What does Virgo need to know about love and relationships for November 2020? What does Virgo need to know about love and relationships for November 2020? The Queen of Pentacles, the Chariot, the Knight of Swords, the Ace of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, the King of Cups, the High Priestess, the Three of Wands, the Four of Cups, and the Eight of Wands, and the card under the deck is the Nine of Swords. So, Queen of Pentacles, this could be your energy as a Virgo. The Pentacles usually represent earth signs. So you've been really working on creating something solid and stable this month, or you're going to be. The only problem, okay, so you have the Chariot crossing you. What's happening is that you are involved in a lot of different things, and your energy is all over the place, and you may have to call in your scattered energy and figure out exactly what you want and where you want to go. And the Chariot offers success through discipline and focus. So if you can focus like a laser beam on the goals that you want to achieve in November, especially if it's a relationship, maybe you're not sure what, maybe you might be just deciding among multiple options, or you've just been so focused on work that you haven't had time for relationship. I feel like here's this King of Cups in the future. There is someone that you can connect with if you're not involved in a relationship. But you're facing the past. So there might be some past issues that you need to resolve and let go, release, before you can move forward. You have the Knight of Swords energy and the Ace of Swords energy in the past. So the Knight of Swords, you could have been dealing with someone who was very impetuous, very impatient, maybe a little bit insensitive, someone who just jumps into things without thinking about how their behavior is affecting others. And because the Knight of Swords energy, it's a quick energy, so it could be that someone quickly comes into your life or quickly departs your life. You may have decided to let go of this relationship because you have the Ace of Swords here, which is a new beginning or a new way of thinking. So maybe you've been thinking about relationships and thinking about what you've done in the past that maybe didn't work out and how you can do things better this time around. The Wheel of Fortune is up in the future. So things are changing. I feel like you're moving away from something from the past and moving towards something that's going to be more nurturing for you. You have this King of Cups here. You can't see it yet because your back is turned to this person. But I think this is something that's going to be coming up in the future. And maybe you're not aware of it right now, but you will in the coming weeks or maybe even months. The High Priestess. This is a card of following your intuition, taking time out to meditate, to hear that inner voice, and to listen to that voice. You may have been ignoring that inner voice. Maybe you're doubting. You're getting certain impressions. You might be getting messages from your unconscious or from your inner guidance, and you've been either denying them, like saying, "Oh, that can't possibly happen." So listen to that voice. Listen to the inner voice, because I feel like things are going to change this month, and you might get an unexpected message that from someone that can lead to something tangible. Because you have the Three of Wands here in your environment. The Three of Wands is about, after you've put out your energies into the world, you may have planted a lot of seeds with the Chariot. You're going to start to see some of those things come back. So you're going to start to see the reward for all of your work. The Three of Wands could also mean working in partnership. So maybe you're at work, you're working as part of a team, or you're on a project. And it could possibly be that through this work-related project, you're finding romance somehow. The Four of Cups is in your wish fulfillment. The Four of Cups represents someone who's not happy with their current situation. You're not feeling valued or appreciated, or you're bored with the work, or you're bored with your current relationship. Maybe it's not giving you what you need, or you don't feel like your partner. For some of you who is in a relationship, you may feel like you're not being valued by a partner. And so you're thinking, well, maybe I should see what my options are. I feel like you're going to be connecting with someone who is more nurturing. The King of Cups energy is someone who's very sensitive, very compassionate, has a healing energy around him. He could be a healer, work in the medical profession, or a counselor, someone that you might be connecting with coming up in the near future. And it may come out of the blue. It might be unexpected. And with this, also, like, things are being offered to you, but you're not sure if you want to accept the love that's on offer. So it could be that you're just not sure what you want. You just don't know what you want. Or whatever is being offered to you is not quite what you're looking for. But you have the Eight of Wands here. This is doors opening up and news coming in. Messages, arrows of love. So it could be that you're going to be connecting with someone, and feelings could develop quickly. So if you're not in a relationship, you could be meeting someone new unexpectedly, or you could hear from someone. Because this is the King, it could be someone that you already know. You could get a message from someone out of the blue, unexpectedly, that could lead to a potential romance. If you're in a relationship, possibly you might news might be coming in. Maybe this person wants to communicate with you, because with the Eight of Wands, that's like news coming in, opportunities opening up. And maybe you need to have a healing conversation and be more vulnerable and talk about what needs to happen for you to get out of this state of boredom and feeling undervalued. You also have the Nine of Swords energy here. This is a card of worry and possibly guilt. So maybe you're feeling a little bit guilty about a past relationship, or you're worried about someone's health. And maybe that's been distracting you. You're not really focused. You've had some distractions, worried about the past. Maybe you need to let go of the past, and anything that you might have done in the past that you feel guilty about, release it. And because I feel like it's weighing you down, and it's preventing you from connecting or from being happy in this current situation, because you have all this guilt and worry. Maybe you're worried that you're going to make the same mistakes, or something's not going to work out, like something that happened in the past. Maybe it was you that made a quick decision to leave something, and it wasn't really well thought out, and now you're having a feeling of regret around it. And this King could then represent maybe a counselor, someone that you talk to overcome your feelings of guilt. But I do feel, though, with the Eight of Wands, that there's going to be opportunities for love in November, and they may come about unexpectedly. So trust your inner guidance. There are things happening behind the scenes. You might have to go into your subconscious or deal with issues that are like your blind spots, and figure out what it is that's keeping you stuck in a place where you're not happy. And once you start to focus on what you really want, learn what you really need and what you really want, and focus your energies in that direction, then I think that things are going to start to change and move. So let's see what the astrology has to say. So this full moon, which is on October 31st, is in Taurus, is happening in your 9th house. And the sun is in your 3rd house. So the 9th house, this is your travel and communication sector. So you could hear from someone because the moon is conjunct Uranus. Something unexpected can happen in relation. The 9th house has to do with higher education. It has to do with legal issues. It has to do with long distance travel. So there could be unexpected. Maybe you hear from someone that you haven't connected with in a long time. Someone from a distance. You get a message or a phone call. Or maybe there's some contractual upset. Like all of a sudden something comes up and something is communicated to you. I feel like that communication is going to be key this month in resolving any difficulties, or seeing at least what's going on. If something has been hidden from you, it may come up at this time. You have Mercury in the 2nd house, and it's squaring Saturn in the 5th house. So Mercury in the 2nd, you're thinking of ways that you can bring in extra money. Mercury is about, well, the 2nd house is about money. It's also about self-esteem. And Mercury is the planet of communication, and it's been going retrograde, but it will start to go direct. It was retrograde in October, but it's moving direct in November, early November. So any miscommunication, anything that has been slowed down is now going to pick up speed. And you can get your message out, and you can communicate better in November than maybe you felt misunderstood in October. Whatever you were trying to say wasn't being heard. Especially with Saturn in the 5th house, you could have had some issues around children, or even feeling just depressed about fun. Maybe there was no fun in your life, and you're thinking, I don't have the money, I can't do anything, I can't have any fun, I can't, I'm having problems with my kids, I can't support my children. All these things could have been coming up and depressing you or making you feel guilty. So with Mercury in your 2nd house, now that it's moving forward, you're thinking of new ways to bring money into your life. How can I make money? And it may be through some type of communication project, either at the internet or writing, communicating, maybe even sharing your knowledge, because you have this 9th house activity going on. Venus is moving into the 2nd house. It was in Virgo in your 1st house, and it's moving into the 2nd house now. It's in Libra. So when Venus is in your 2nd house, it's going to bring financial, it's going to bring money in. When Venus is the love planet, but it's also the money planet. So when Venus transits your 2nd house, you should get a little bit of a break in a financial area. So if you've been struggling financially, Venus will bring money in. And it could be through some creative project. So don't think negatively don't say, well, I'm too busy, I don't have time for fun, or I don't have time for creativity. You need to make time. And with Saturn in the 5th house, it could be that it seems like a lot of work, that everything is really difficult, you're expected to do a lot. Just do the work, because Saturn rewards commitment, discipline, and hard work. So by the time Saturn leaves your 5th house, which it will be doing at the end of the year, it will give you a reward. He will bring you a reward for all your hard work. And it could be that a relationship forms that can lead to a serious connection, because Saturn represents commitment and discipline and, longevity. So you could be connecting with someone where there's an age difference even, if you're involved in a new romance at this time. You definitely do have some issues to work out around finances and money. Maybe there's some healing that needs to be done around those areas, because you have Chiron in the 8th house opposing Venus in the 2nd house. So there are some wounds around self-worth and value and what you're being paid and what am I worth? Am I being valued? All those things. And it starts with loving yourself and valuing yourself. When you love and value yourself, then you wouldn't settle for less. So don't settle for less, and start to demand what you're worth and demand more, and you'll get more. So then we have this new moon in Scorpio, and that's on the 15th. It's either the night of the 14th or it's the early morning of the 15th, depending on where you live. And that's going to be in your third house. It's your local area, communication, relatives, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, neighbors. So there could be a new beginning. Maybe you're reconnecting with some people that you haven't talked to in a long time. And actually this new moon is sextile Jupiter and Pluto in the 5th house. Jupiter and Pluto are going to come together in your 5th house. So there's going to be either there's like some good news around children. There could be a new romance. It could be a new creative project that you're really excited about that can bring in real money. This new moon is going to be good because it's really getting powerful support from Jupiter and Pluto. And they're all in earth signs. I mean, Jupiter and Pluto in an earth sign is favorable to your sun and your earth sign, especially if you have Virgo rising. Mercury is going to be in the 3rd house, and it's going to be opposing Uranus in the 9th house around this full moon. And so there are going to be some surprises, some surprising communications. You might, even around contracts, if you're in the middle of some kind of contract negotiation, there could be some surprising developments or some surprising legal issues, because the 9th house rules legal matters. Or it could be something around education. Maybe you get an opportunity to take some classes. If you do, it's a good idea to, jump on it. Because Uranus wants to shake your world up in a good way. It wants to free you from any kind of stagnation. And it may be that through higher education, through travel, through communication, you can create something more positive in your world. I'm still seeing, now Venus is in the 2nd, but at this new moon, she's going to square Pluto in the 5th house. So there could be some power struggles around children. So if you're going through a divorce and you have to negotiate child support, you could have some power struggles around that issue. Or maybe one of your kids is acting up, and you're trying to keep them in line. Or there's some issues around financial support or money. Maybe they need money or you need money from them. It could be something that involves education. Or if it's not children and it's a partner, there could be some powers. You could be attracting someone who's really intense. And you may need to work out some issues around financial support, money, like who's paying for what. Because feelings are going to be very intense. Just don't resort to manipulation. Don't try to manipulate someone or let someone else manipulate you over any kind of financial issue. But I think overall communication is going to be important this month, so it's important to get your message out. Don't be afraid to speak up about what you need. Let's see, where's Mars? Mars is in your 8th house. So Mars is activating. Mars is going to go direct, and if you've been... Mars was retrograde. The 8th house represents money that you get from others. It's financial resources. So it's like insurance payout, inheritance, your partner's money. Those things might have been blocked or slowed down while Mars was retrograde. So if there were delays in resolving any kind of financial issue where you're expecting some kind of financial support to come in, that's going to start to move forward as Mars moves forward. And Mars will be moving forward on the 13th of November. So those matters will come back into play. And your expenses may rise a little bit while Mars is in the 8th house. Because that's where your energy is going to be focused. You're really going to be focused on financial matters in November. How do I make money? How do I get money? Am I getting what I deserve? Am I getting what I'm owed? Are there ways you're going to be researching maybe other avenues of income? How can I bring more income into my life? Maybe you're developing some kind of internet thing that will bring in passive income, or you're figuring out, or maybe you're connecting with someone who has the money, who's going to finance your project or support you in some way. Those are the issues that are going to be important this month. And doors are going to be opening up. Opportunities are going to be opening up. Things are going to start to shift and move. So get ready. And if you need more training in a situation, don't be afraid to get the skills that you need so you can move forward. Don't be afraid to speak up about what you need, because that's the only way you're going to get it. And really, if anything is distracting you from your goals, release what's distracting you and focus on what's most important. Don't let other things take you away from the main goal, and you'll be fine. So that's my forecast, Virgo, for November. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, click on the like button, click on the subscribe button. If you'd like a private reading that's based specifically on your situation, click on the link in the description box. It'll take you to my website. In the meantime, thank you everyone for supporting my channel, for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. If you're new, welcome. I hope you're enjoying the videos. I hope you have a wonderful November. If you're celebrating Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. And I will talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.